Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the new Juvia'S Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. Okay, and this one looks like someone fucking opened it. I bought this at Ulta. This was probably... Oh my god, did someone put the tester? So when I went to Ulta the other day, they didn't have the tester for this shade, and this was literally the only box left of the lighter shade. I think they put the tester, I literally barely opened the box. I think they put the tester in the box and sold it. This is the second time that's happened to me at my Ulta. I bought a primer from Smashbox, the moisturizing primer. I opened the box and it was literally an empty primer. So Ulta, Downy, what are you doing? I don't know. But I'm still gonna try the foundation even though it's open. Kind of scared, but this looks kind of like light for me. The shade Marisol 740. It looks pretty light. We'll see how the foundation turns out. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Yep, but without further ado, let's get started on the review. First, I'm gonna prime my skin. I'm actually going to do my regular foundation routine that I normally do. So normally I do a pore filling primer and a more hydrating primer. So I'm using this primer today, the No Poreblem primer by Touch and Soul, which is literally my favorite pore filling primer. It's super smooth on the skin, not too heavy, not too silicone-y either. It feels really nice on the skin and it fills my pores bomb. The other primer I'm using is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I really have been enjoying this primer. I feel like it makes my makeup last extensively more than usual, so I'm going to be using those two primers today. Also, I like to spray my face a little bit before I get everything started. To start off, I'm going to take my Milk Hydro Grip Primer first, and I'm going to put that all over my face. I like this primer because it's a really sticky primer. It has a nice, you know, stick to it, so the foundation will more than likely stay on for a longer period of time rather than if you don't wear a primer at all. I'm going to take the No Poreblem primer, which this is my second bottle of this. I love it so much. It's my favorite pore filling primer. I am doing my normal steps, like my normal routine for this specific foundation. I'm testing it with products I know work with other foundations in my normal foundation routine. So I am using my normal everyday products. I only got my hands on the foundation. I did not see the concealers at Ulta when I went. I know they do have a concealer, which I do want to try, but as for now, I only have the foundation, so that'll have to do for now. I'm gonna quickly throw on some brows and then I'll be right back for the foundation application. Brows are on. I use my Benefit Cosmetics Precising My Brow Pencil in the shade 3.5, which is my absolute favorite brow pencil in the entire world. I'm gonna go get started with the foundation. So right off the bat, it's a very thick consistency, which tells me it is gonna be full coverage. I'm gonna be taking my Morphe Highlight and Contouring Sponge. Nice clean sponge, damp, not wet. So I'm gonna take the flat side and just... It is so thick. Like, look at the sponge. Like, she's spackled on there. So I'm gonna... It's pretty white. It's actually very pale. That is so white. Okay, I think I have to... I mean, I don't want to mix it in with another foundation because then I'm going to manipulate the formula. So I'm going to apply it and then I'm going to heavily bronze my skin just to see. But the shade below was too dark for me. So I don't know. It is full coverage though. I like the foundation though because it says it's a matte foundation, but I still see some sheen to my skin. It's not like overly matte. And the coverage is there. I mean, if you need full coverage, this is a full coverage foundation. It's a very inclusive shade foundation shade range, which is obviously bomb, because even though it's 2019, a lot of brands still do struggle with inclusivity, which I don't get. Like, hello, like there's more than like 5 shades of people in the world. I like the fact that they have like, they go from like darkest to lightest instead of lightest to darkest, which is really cool, because no one's, well, from what I know, no one has done that yet. And it's nice that they're being very like inclusive to women of color and, you know, those types of shades, because women of color are usually, it seems that they're more left out. It's getting better now, but it's still not an issue that has been resolved. I didn't even use all the foundation. I feel so bad for like wasting product, but I didn't even use all the foundation I had. I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm using the shade Fair Neutral in this concealer, which is my normal shade. If it's darker than the foundation, I'm gonna snap, because, oh, it is. I think this could be a good summer foundation, especially if you don't want like a super like matte look. If you still want a matte foundation, this is like a nice, it still has like a glow to it. I literally look so creepy, it's not even funny, because I look so freaking pale, like so. I go in with 2 different powders. I know it's a little excessive. I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, and then I go in with my Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder, which this is a pricey one. Take again a clean new Morphe sponge. I'm gonna take the pointy side of it, and I'm gonna dip into the Cover FX powder first, and then I'm gonna set my under eyes with that. Now I'm gonna take my Chanel Natural Finish Loose Setting Powder, and I'm gonna dip the flat side of it, and I'm going to use that to set the rest of my face. So I look very flat and one-dimensional. I set my powders in after I have powdered my face. So I'm going to use the Morphe spray this time. Next, I'm going to do something really quickly on the eyes, just so I don't have just like a blank canvas on my eyes. I'm just going to speed through this. I'm not really going to give it like a step-by-step, only because I'm just doing some quick wash of color on the eyes. So, be right back.
Listen, man. Hey, yo!
So I'm back. I threw in some lashes and a pop of color. I use this Morphe palette. This is the 35H Hotspot palette. I literally only used 3 shades in the palette. I'm going to be going in with my Fenty Beauty bronzer. This is in the shade Shady Biz. This is my absolute favorite bronzer. Like, it's so good. It just makes your skin look so smooth. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so pretty. This is the Morphe JH02 brush.
Listen, man. Hey, yo!
I don't know if it's the foundation or whatever I put. I think it is the foundation, because I always use this bronzer. Like I said, I'm going on with my natural steps. But right here in this general area, it is patchy a little bit. So I don't know if it's the foundation or what's going on, but like I said, I'm using the normal steps in my routine besides the foundation. So I'm assuming it's the foundation that's doing that. I'm going to take my Cover FX powder with this Morphe sponge, and I'm going to clean up these edges right here. And Next, I'm gonna go in with highlighter, and the highlighter I have is actually a loose highlighter from Juvia'S place. This is the Nubian by Juvia'S loose highlighter in the shade Clio. Ooh, that's really pretty. Really pretty if you like your highlighter to pack a punch. This is really, really pretty. Dust off my bake using my Morphe E58 brush along with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder. So I take a little bit on the brush, I dust it off, and then I kind of just scrape it off and like graze over the bronzer a little bit just so everything's nice and cohesive and you don't have any harsh lines. For blush today, I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics Baddie on the Block blush. These are really pretty. I actually haven't used her blushes before, but I've been trying to get my hands on them, but I saw them at Ulta the other day, so I was like, I'm copping the shade because Baddie on the Block is the shade I wanted. I wanted another one, like a super baby pink one, but I forgot what it's called, but they didn't have it, so I went with Baddie on the Block, and I'm applying it with my MAC 129 brush. I'm gonna hit the temples really quick with the blush. So far, my thoughts, so I don't really like how it made my, you know, bronzer and stuff cling. It doesn't look cute. It looks patchy, so I don't really like it. It's, for me, it's the foundation that had the issue, I believe. I'm gonna wear this foundation throughout the day. It is currently 1:15 p.m. so I'll come back at the end of the day, probably around like 9-10ish, and I'll let you guys know like how it held up and if I had to do any touch-ups or anything. I normally don't do touch-ups anyways, so you guys are gonna see the true form of the foundation. It looks nice, like it looks like a nice foundation. It's a nice matte foundation because it's not too matte. Like I said, it feels comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel tight on my skin. Like I feel like I could like actually stretch my face without having an issue. So for me personally, it feels great, but the problem that it gave me with the patchiness, that's a deal breaker for me. It was a flop for me personally. I think it still could work for a lot of people out there, so you guys should give it a try, honestly. For me, no, but I do have drier skin, so I think that might be an issue as well. So check it out if you really feel like you want to try it. I think it's a pretty matte foundation. I'm gonna see how much it costs actually. It's a $20 foundation. You get it 1 fluid ounce in here. It's a full coverage foundation. Nice, you know, velvety matte finish. Like the claims are correct, it is a velvet matte. I don't think I'm gonna use it again. So those are my final thoughts for now. I'm gonna come back later, do the check-in, and see where I'm left standing. So hey guys, I'm back. It is currently 9:17 p.m. I've had this foundation on for about 8 hours straight. I didn't touch up or anything throughout the day. I literally just left it how it is. I did notice a little bit here just when I ate, it kind of came off, but I think that's pretty normal for a foundation. I am a little oily on my nose, but I mean that's normal as well for me. I do get oily around my nose. I still wouldn't wear this foundation again, only because I did have that issue with patchiness of my bronzer, so that is a big like deal breaker for me. If it's gonna make my other things look patchy, then I just don't want to wear it. But it may just be, like I said, because of my skin type. So if you have really oily skin, I would actually try it out. Work out for me. If you have dry skin, I would just steer away from this. I wouldn't even try it. The finish is really nice. I would have worn it again, and I would have, you know, recommended it more if I didn't have that issue of patchiness, but since I did, I can't really recommend it. So it's a flop for me, but I mean, that's just me. Honestly, try it out if you're really curious about it. I would. Those are my final thoughts. Thank you guys for watching my video on the Juvia'S Place foundation review. Don't forget to like this video. Also comment down below, are you gonna buy this foundation? Are you gonna try it out? Let me know your thoughts on it, on how it wore on me. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Ring the notification bell so you guys are notified whenever I post a new video. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching.